Alright, going to be talking about my top 5 favorite trailers they showed at E3 2014. Most of the gameplay, not the gameplay trailer, but the regular trailers, like cinematic trailers and real life looking trailers that they showed during the E3 conferences. I had one especially good game that was shown at the Xbox Microsoft conference. One of the good ones that I thought were amazing and interesting new type of game to see. Also got three games that they showed at the PlayStation Sony conference. Interesting three titles. I say two new games and one old one that's already been out, and I have another one from the Ubisoft created it, so they showed at the Ubisoft conference, the Microsoft conference, and the PlayStation conference pretty much. So it's one of these interesting games that they've made so many times already, but just make another new game, see how it goes. So my number 5 would be Last of Us Remastered trailer, PS4. The trailer went so good with the background song Nirvana, Something in the Way, just looks so good. They're showing main cinematic scenes from the main game and some cinematic scenes from the Left Behind DLC trailer of Riley and Ellie. And they show some with Joel holding his daughter, and they said Joel. I don't want to keep saying Joel, but Joel with Ellie and all that, all the adventures he did and all the adventures they did together with Tess and all that, and when he sees his brother and all the sad scenes, the mess up scenes, the rough scenes were happening throughout the game while they're just having this smooth Nirvana song just play Something in the Way throughout the whole trailer, even though it's not a new game. It just come out to PS4 this year, next month, July. I forgot what date it was, but pretty cool that they had the Last of Us Remastered trailer. Even though it's not a new game, I just thought the trailer was interesting. The song went so good with it. They just showed a lot of scenes of the game. It was awesome to see the trailer of it. Okay, number 4 would be Assassin's Creed Unity. The trailer that they were showing, it was amazing. Even though the graphics like put in 1080p, just looks gorgeous to watch the real life scene of it. Like it was the trailer where they showed the girl singing the cover of "Everybody Wants to Rule the World" very slowly, and everything happens, and the trailer just starts with the hawk just flying around. They're showing the roofs of the buildings and the streets and the civilians that are rebelling against these soldiers, and the hawk just swoops in, and they're showing the soldiers holding their muskets against the civilian rebels and all that. They're just shooting their muskets at them, killing them, since there's already some dead in the streets and all that. And the hawk just swoops up in the air, and they show one of the main assassin, the main character of the game, the main assassin, of course, and he's just standing there and looking down below, and they show the 3 assassins just go up right next to him, and they're just, I guess their main goal is just trying to protect the civilians or stop the soldiers from hurting them or whatever. Since I guess it just showed everybody wants to rule the world, because the soldiers want to rule the world. They pretty much just start jumping around, and they just jump to the main building. They just cut the chains off, and the gate just flops up, and the rebels just start going in pretty much. And so they just jump from the building, and they just jump off. They show them fighting all the soldiers inside the building or outside area. They're just killing all the soldiers with their weapons and all their attacks and all that. They just jump up and they start throwing smoke bombs, and it's like getting all smoky and everywhere, and the soldiers are coughing and they're looking around, and they start getting assassinated by all the 4 assassins getting killed by the hidden blades, getting hit in the back of the neck and the throat and all this sort of stuff, blood everywhere and all that. They show us like 2 assassins on the floor. I think they're like 2 of them, they disappear, and there's like 2 on the floor, and like 2 soldiers with this dude that they're trying to stop or put an end to or something like that. And he puts up a little torch, a little stick that has like a little, like some sort of torch or whatever that has fire on it, and then he just points it towards, like, there's barrels of gunpowder on the floor, and there's gunpowder on top of this table, and he has it close by it, trying to get the assassins away from him. And both of the assassins just jump up and kill the 2 soldiers, and while the dude's in shock, the main assassin, the main character, just goes up to him with the hidden blade and just puts out the torch with his hand, wearing that glove on, and he just disappears in the air, and the rebels start pouring in, having their guns, their weapons, their melee weapons, axes and all that, start pointing at the dudes surrounding them, that main villain and all that, and the assassins are just going away, and it just ended like that. I just thought that was an amazing scene, even though I remembered it on top of my head, which was pretty good to see. I just thought that was a pretty good trailer. The music just fits right into it. If a trailer has good music and goes right with it, it will become just my favorite trailer of all. Not my favorite trailer all the time, but it was just an awesome trailer to have that, because it just has music and all that. So my number 3 would be Sunset Overdrive. It was awesome. Like, it didn't have no song or nothing, but I just thought it was amazing to just show the soldier. He's having a gunfight against these four or five, I don't know, crooks, robbers, henchmen, or whatever. They're shooting AKs at him. He's just back there shooting too. And he runs out of ammo. He's back up against the crate, not knowing what to do. And they just show the camera move against the door. It says Insomniac Games on it, and the dude just kicks it open. This dude has like right side of his. I think what was it? I think it was the left side of his head is like shaved, not shaved, but his head have like a little fade on the left side. In the middle is like a mohawk, and on the other side is like spiky and all. He just comes into the room wearing some jeans and this blue jean type of jacket, looking all cool. I guess he's trying to help the soldier in there. So he starts like. He has all these different type of guns. And I guess he has something metal on his shoes or something at the bottom, because he starts grinding on the rail, the stairs and all that. And he grabs like a crowbar and starts ziplining against the enemies, shooting different types of gun at him. The gun like shoots him, and like a red thing bursts out, says the blood bursts out and says ouch. He shoots another gun that has like firecrackers or some sort that start popping everywhere. I guess I guess he kills or defeats the enemies with the AKs or something. He just shows him, just puts the crowbar on the crate, and he said your crate is safe or something. I forgot what he said to the soldier or something. He just kicks the door open slowly and just comes out and starts explaining. Welcome to Sunset City, and this energy drink is turning all these people into mutants and all that. And they're showing mutants in the background getting shot by fireworks, exploding them everywhere. And this dude's just walking about, minding his own business, talking about that's up to me to save the world. And he goes, no, it's up to you to save the world and all that stuff. And they show like the soldiers coming out of the door, and one of the mutants attacks him. I guess it kills him, since they show blood coming out of him, and the dude just explains what to do and all that. They can save the world, of course, because this is a video game and all that. They just sits back and relaxes. It just ends like that, pretty much. Pretty sure I missed some part in it, but that's mainly the most I can remember right now, back in my head. So I think this is like a new type of game that looks awesome. You can do a lot of stuff with different guns, and you're fighting against mutants. So it seems like this character is more of a comedy type of game, comedy adventure action type of game, since the character is more of a funny, not very serious person, mostly like a funny type of character. That was a pretty good, interesting game to see. Number 2 would be Dead Island 2 trailer, since it surprised me. It was interesting to see this trailer, since at the end of the trailer it showed that it was Dead Island 2, so it was like a teaser trailer of it, really. No gameplay, just like a main trailer of it. Like, the trailer starts out with this dude putting his hair, slicking his hair back, wearing these shades, wearing these white beater shirt, these white joggy pants, these white kicks, sneakers, or tennis shoes, whatever you want to call them, having his white iPod or iPhone out, playing music, and his white earplugs connected. So he's like wearing all white pretty much, connected to it, and he just puts his earplugs in his ear, just holding his iPod or phone in his hand, and he's just jogging, minding his own business, listening to music while he's like walking down the sidewalk. I guess there's a beach on the right side of him, or he's walking forward. Right side of him, I guess there's palm trees, and probably in California where there's a beach and grass and palm trees. And he just minding his own business. He walks past this blonde haired girl with a pink bikini top on, rollerblading or skating down the sidewalk. He just starts pointing at her. I think he points at his crotch and while looking at her, and he just turns his head, starts walking by his own business. I think she sticks a finger behind his back, then the zombie starts attacking her and all that. He's just walking down, minding his own business, and show like the clerk or the shop owner come out, having a shotgun blasting this zombie way in front of them. The zombie gets him from the background, and the dude still just keeps walking around, minding his own business, not knowing what's happening, since the music is so loud in his ears, while a white limousine comes rolling down the sidewalk or the street, and it just slams into a palm tree, and the dude still doesn't know, and they're still walking down the street minding his own business. And they show a helicopter in the air with smoke coming out of it, like 4 zombies hanging from the helicopter, and it just spins around and crashes. And this dude's still walking minding his own business, and he starts looking at his arm starts getting all weird looking, zombie looking, rotting. It starts getting rotting, and there's like this white, big old gigantic circle, white looking pus pimple thing coming out of his, forming around. It's already formed around his arm, so it looks all weird. Then they show his upper body starts getting all rotten and infected and all that into a zombie. And then they show his teeth getting all bloody, rotten. Then they show his face getting more rotten and bald. While he's walking, the camera points to the ground. There's like blood dripping everywhere. There's a pile of, I guess, pieces of meat falling down to the floor, and his piece of his hair or scalp falling down. And he's still walking. They show his face again, and his neck is like broken or what. It's like hanging on the right side of his, on his top of his shoulder. He's like still walking as a zombie, making all the zombie noises, and zombies are gathering around him. Then they show a bus in the background slamming to zombies, killing him. Then he slams to the dude that was jogging. Now that's a zombie, slams right into him. And then it blacks out a little bit. Then they show the scene with his head's like on the ground, his eyes are still moving around, still alive. And they show his shoes. They show his shoe and his ankles, like they came off from his legs, and they're like hanging into the side of the shoe, hanging. This dude comes out, grabs the shoes, started putting them against his foot, see if they fit. He just grabs the ankles and he just takes the shoes with him. And the voice sounded like Jack Black. I think that might have been Jack Black as a voice actor of that character. They didn't show what it looked. They just came out the van, just grabbed him and all that. That was a pretty cool scene. I have Dead Island 1, but I still haven't. I played it a little bit, but I still haven't a chance to get too far or beat it yet. But probably in the future I'll end up beating it and seeing what happens right there. Okay, my number 1. My favorite of all time. Just the song was so good to it. I just have to say Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. While they're showing all these scenes, these cinematic scenes. I guess all these scenes happen inside the game, I guess. So there's just cinematic scenes that are happening. And they have this song called Nuclear by Mike Oldfield. This amazing song about nuclear. They're just showing the song in the background, showing all these scenes. Like in the beginning it starts off like there's burnt bodies and there's like helicopter parts scattered onto the on the floor, and they're all like burned everywhere. And there's this vulture picking, I guess he's vulture just standing over a body. I think it was I can't remember if it was picking at the body or he wasn't. And it just shows like the show director and the producer and all that, the developer and all that, just start throwing different names on it. And then showing the song just keep playing in the background, all smooth, just goes right. It was really good with the trailer that's happening right now. Pretty much they show Snake. He's like burying the body, but the bodies are inside wooden caskets. So I think they're holding a funeral memorial for the soldier that died. So they're like the caskets are all on fire. He's like burning them. In the background, they see a bunch of soldiers holding urns of ashes, I guess, of their dead soldiers and friends and all that. And they show Snake grab one of the urns and he starts walking to the side of the ship, gazing and looking over the ocean while he has like even though he has like a robotic arm, it's like black and red. He has like he has like a left robotic arm for some reason. I'm not very sure why. Can't really remember the Snake games that much. And he's like putting ashes all over his face, like how Kratos Kratos from God of War, he had like those white ashes on his face. You just show him with his face all ashes. Then the screen blinks to another scene. His face is all bloody. Even though they have this horn coming out of his right side of his forehead. I don't know what that horn is. Maybe it's part of his eye. I'm not very sure about that. With that horn though. So they just start showing other scenes. They like show us the scientists looking dude with black hair, scientist or a doctor looking dude would have these glasses with this black hair hanging, and they show Snake put not a duffel bag or a little sack over his head. And they show him later again, still like panicking, and one of these dudes takes like a syringe, and puts it through that scientist or doctor's neck and just knocks him out. I guess it puts him to sleep or something. Not sure what happens. Then they show other scene of a blonde-haired dude. And it's like and they show his patch. I guess they were like diamond dogs. Can't really remember what the name was. They start showing Snake at random moments and all that. They show like two soldiers fighting each other. And they show this dude having this white chair pushing a Snake on the building or a helicopter or whatever. I'm not sure what there it is. So he just has the chair putting against him. And there's a nuclear song just keeps playing over. That keep playing over and over. Just plays throughout the whole trailer while they're showing soldiers rallying or something. They show like a ship and all that. Snake again. And then they show Snake having a knife. I guess he stabs somebody or he just tries to scare somebody, or maybe he misses with the knife and all that. It's like a little pocket-looking knife thingy. Then he shows like the soldiers fighting. The soldier's not fighting Snake, so the soldier's like grabbing the soldier's arm and he's trying to force the soldier's arm by stabbing himself. By stabbing Snake. Snake's trying to make the soldier stab himself by trying to force it like through his chest, and the soldier's trying to pull away, trying not to stab him, but Snake is just was forcing his arm just to stab himself. It was pretty weird to see that. I don't know what was happening in there. I guess he didn't want the soldiers to fight each other, so I'm not very sure what was happening there. Then he grabs his knife, I'm not sure he stabs somebody in the stomach. I'm not sure the body's dead or he's killing him or he might be gutting him or something. I'm not sure what was happening there. Then you show his face all red and bloody, like the horn, some kind of horn sticking out of the right side of the head. Looks like it was coming out a little bit more. Blood's like, I think it was like steaming or something. I don't know. It looked like his face was steaming, or I might be wrong. There's just blood all over his face. He's looking up in the air and he's like screaming and all that. It was pretty intense watching that part while Nuclear just playing and all that. Wow, it was just amazing just amazing trailer. All these scenes happening and the music's just playing so smoothly with the background and all that. They're pretty much all just playing NBA 2K14 with them in the background, having like the old school Lakers versus the old school Rockets. I think the 1994, 1995 Rockets against forgot which year was the Lakers team that I picked. So it's just like a throwback game, having in the background while talking and trying to play at the same time. You know, I'm pretty sure I'm doing pretty horrible with the game right now. But so that was my top 5 E3 2014 trailers. I'm not sure. I might do a top 5 gameplay trailer, but I'm not very sure about that. Since I was just saying my top 5, these are just my opinion. I'm pretty sure there's way better trailers than these out there. They showed during the conferences and all that, but these are just my favorites out of all of them, pretty much.
Smith drives in. Maxwell against Scott. Kicks it to Olajuwon. The stupendous finish in traffic. Olajuwon's got 4 points now in the quarter.
And I'll say this about him, Kevin. I mean, it looks like he's made of rubber sometimes because defenders just bounce off him when he's driving the lane. What a finish.
I've also got to say, Steve, that I really like how he's able to adapt defensively to really whatever the situation is. There are a number of ways he can come at you at that end of the floor.
Eldon Campbell, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Drew comes in for Magic Johnson. Worthy backing down. Outside, Scott. Five to shoot. Back to Worthy. Ori defending. Releases. And a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Worthy's got 9 points.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Maxwell kicks to Smith. There's the dish to Olajuwon. 1:15 left in the third quarter of the game. Green, the screen. The kick out to Scott. It's rebounded by Houston. Olajuwon's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. It's stolen by Green. And here's the fast break. Scott leading the way. But they recover it. Worthy, the pass to Drew. There's 47 seconds left in the third. Back to Worthy. Second shot opportunity. And the shot counts. He's fouled, and it's a chance for a 3-point play.
Boy, the D has to show a little more fight on the interior than they did on that trip. They got a battle inside.
Well, this game has been tough, Clark. I mean, they're getting after it, and I think they're starting to run a little bit low on energy, possibly.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Divac checked in. Thorpe kicks to Olajuwon. And the shot is good. Olajuwon's got 10 points. There's 21 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Drew. Feeds it to Scott. Left side, Worthy. Gets it to go. He's got 13. And so it's Houston with it. Out of bounds, the Lakers will take possession.
Where was he going with that pass? I mean, that's just an awful turnover.
And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. Thanks for joining us again as we get set for the fourth quarter. A terrific game so far. And taking a quick look here, guys, at the hustle stats for the Lakers.
Their high-energy defensive effort has paid off for them, guys, with more than a few steals over the course of the ball game.
And they've really done a nice job on the glass, too. A lot of second-chance points here tonight.
Taking a look at Los Angeles. Worthy out there with Thompson. Then it's Drew. Then it's Divac. And it's Scott in at the shooting guard. Here's Drew. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two. And the first one drops. That one misses, so he goes 1 for 2. Rockets trailed by 4. The drive by Smith. And so it looks like...
Yeah, I think it would have been a tough catch for either of them.
To the paint, here's Scott. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Textbook example there of how to use defense to create offense.
Yeah, beautiful transition play after the steal all the way to the basket.
Wasted no time going from defense to offense.
Well, it feels like they're starting to pick up the intensity as the game itself starts to get a little more tight and close. That's like a layup for him. He's just wide open out there.
1 minute now into this fourth quarter. Goes up from the top of the key. Scott missing again.
Been a poor shooting performance for him today, but luckily for them, a lot of his teammates have come through.
Or he gets the bucket.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
Yeah, Clark, they've been more active and more physical down low, and I think that's been the difference.
Here's Scott. The Rockets making the shot. Pass to Drew. Scott drains the 19-footer. And the Lakers lead by 3.
You know, tired legs can affect you at the defensive end, and I think that's what's happening right here.
I agree, because as much offense as we saw early, we're seeing even more of it here late.
Scott against Maxwell. Ori to tie it up. And again, it's the Rockets from deep.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding. They are piling up the assists.
Los Angeles calls timeout. Have to like what we're seeing from Ori.
He's definitely rolling offensively. You might not be able to stop him, but you've got to find a way to contain him.
And the Lakers making a change here.
I heard the Lakers coach as he addressed his team. We can't let up now. If we stay and make a few plays, we'll be right back in it. His message was clear. Stay the course, Kevin.
Divac. And good coming off the assist by Magic Johnson.
And that bucket adds to what's been a big differential in points in the paint between these two teams.
Defensively, the intensity just hasn't been there. They've got to pick up the pace.
And the shot is good.
He had his head on the swivel and was able to pick out the pass and get the assist.
The Lakers on offense. Outside, Scott. He feeds it to Worthy. He dishes it to Perkins. Back to Worthy. Shot clock at 6. Gives him the lead pass. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. First free throw is good. And both free throws good for Divac. Rockets trail. And just about 3 minutes through the fourth quarter here. Puts up the baby hook. That misses off the backboard. Here comes Johnson. Backing him down. Outside, Scott. And there's the feed to Perkins. Now the pass to Worthy. Los Angeles with another miss.
Well, I think he had all the space he needed. He just couldn't find the bottom of the net.
Brooks, the pass to Bullock. And taken away by Magic. Outside Worthy. Pass to Scott. Back to Worthy. Divac. And it's blocked by Olajuwon. It's stolen by Divac. We've got 1:08 left here in the fourth quarter.
Oh, no, you hate to see that. Those are just the kind of errors that can cost you in a game like this.
Here's Cassell. The drive by Olajuwon. Oh, and it looks like that's going to be a goaltending call. Yep, that's it. So they'll get the basket.
Big call, Kevin. Just didn't get there quick enough, and that's a tough break.
Timeout called the Lakers. And the Rockets making a change here. Smith is checked in. .59 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Worthy against Ori. Johnson dishes to Worthy. Scott kicks it over to Worthy. Backing him down is Johnson. 6 to shoot. Shoots from the right block. Keeps it alive. Horry with the rebound. Lot is on the line here.
Well, how about the intensity and focus of the crowd here?
So loud in this place. Olajuwon the pass to Horry. And the go-ahead bucket, no good. Now Johnson. There's 14 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Outside, Scott puts the lead pass in front of him.
Defense just couldn't recover in time.
Yeah, the D pretty much went brain neutral on that one, Clark, wouldn't
Yes,
you?
sir. I like that phrase.
Yeah, I don't use that phrase very often, but to me, that's what happened. He shifted the brain into neutral.
Yes, he did. That was embarrassing.
8 seconds left in the game. Here's Horry. And the Lakers call time here. Johnson from outside. Smith for three. And so it's the Lakers who come out on top here. Well, they don't get much more exciting than that, Clark.
They sure do.